We all knew that this would happen. I know the news has been a few days old. I have been busy. But Microsoft announced that select few of their games are going to be $80. 80 fucking euros and 80 fucking dollars. Their Xbox Series S and X are going to be increasing in price up to 120 euros more than it is, well, since a few days back. I think the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte is actually more expensive than a PS5 Pro. Their games are gonna cost $80 and we all know why. I understand that maybe some of you are diehard Nintendo fans and are saying, yes, I finally pre-ordered the Switch 2. Everybody, and I don't give a shit if you unsubscribe, everybody who is pre-ordering the Switch 2, even a friend of mine, is a part of the problem in the gaming industry as of right now. $80, $90 physical for Mario Kart is insane. Absolutely insane. 720 euros for an Xbox Series X 2 terabyte is insane. Okay, the Switch hardware, I could understand it, like $450, okay. But why make the games 80 and $90? Nintendo games do not cost 3 or 400 million to make. And to be really honest, a new RPG that came out from a French indie developer called Claire Expedition or Expedition Claire 33 sold more than 1 million, did not cost 300 million to make, and is basically being hailed as one of the best turn-based RPGs ever. And maybe not ever, but especially for this generation. And it sold more than 1 million in a few days, showing AAA developers like, hey, you can make a good-looking game, an incredible storyline, incredible music. I haven't played it, by the way. And it doesn't need to cost 3 or 400 million to make. We need, or developers need, to stop bloating games. Stop making these huge open world games that nobody cares about. My girlfriend has been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows for like 10 or 15 hours, and she has played Assassin's Creed Odyssey maximum. I mean, I'm not joking. She has done everything. She has explored everything in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. She loved the game. And she is struggling to play Shadows because she basically says it is the exact same game. It's exactly the same game, just a different world. And I'm doing this stuff again, and I'm tired of it. We're playing Conan Exiles right now with a bunch of friends, and the game is fantastic. And we as a consumer, we really should boycott AAA developments. We all know Sony is going to increase their prices too. Now, it would be a genius marketing move if Sony would come out and say, well, guys, we are not going to increase the price. I mean, they have already increased their prices in Europe a few months back, but compared to the Xbox Series X right now, the PS5 Pro is more cheaper to buy, let alone a PS5 digital or whatever. It would be a genius move. But you know what? Companies don't give a fuck. Even though they are breaking records of how much money they are making, that we have massive layoffs and price increases. How can you say that because of the market conditions, they need to increase the Xbox prices? And a few days ago, you actually announced that you had 5% more profit than they actually thought they would. So they're making huge amounts of money, record-breaking profits, but it's a really difficult market conditions. If the gaming industry would be really bad, and if Microsoft was losing money, if Sony was losing money, if Nintendo was losing money, EA, Ubisoft, Ubisoft is basically dead, but thankfully. But they're not. They're breaking records of how much money they are making. It is insane that we are going to pay, and I'm not me, you guys are going to pay 80 and 90 bucks for games that don't even give the same amount of content. I can guarantee you there is less content in Mario Kart World than Mario Kart 8. But Cloudkill, now you have open world. Who gives a flying fuck? Who cares that you can drive left or right out of the desired track? Who gives a shit in a racing game? It is not GTA. I'm talking about GTA. Mark my words. GTA 6 is going to be $100. And after that, they announced it. Microsoft, Sony, maybe not Nintendo, they are going to announce $100 games. It is insane. Mark my words, I will never, ever freaking buy a PS5, whatever, ever freaking again. I am completely done with modern gaming. I was already done with modern gaming, but I am now completely done. I am not going to support this industry anymore. It needs a massive crash. It needs a reset. And we as gamers, we can do that by not buying the crap. But of course not. Of course not. All the Nintendo fans were lining up in droves to get the Switch too. Who gives a shit? Inflation, Trump tariffs. It doesn't matter. They're breaking records of how much money they are making. They are testing the limits of what gamers, especially fanboys, especially Nintendo fanboys, but what gamers are willing to pay. And trust me on this, there are so many people who are defending Nintendo, who are defending Microsoft. And when Sony does it, and they will, defending Sony. Fuck Sony, fuck Microsoft, and fuck Nintendo. I hope you see you next time.